From a Thailand farm that harvests coffee beans from elephant dung to Indonesians capitalizing on farming for bird spit, these are some of the craziest farms in the world. Does a cup of poop-processed coffee tickle your taste buds? Well, not when I say it like that. But this black ivory coffee from the pristine mountains of Thailand is the best cuppa in the world. Lovingly called Crappuccino, this coffee is made by passing the beans through the stomach of elephants and then picking them out of, their poop. Canadian entrepreneur Blake Dinkin thought this would be a good idea, and it worked. The concept isn't entirely new because Kopi Luwak, made from beans passed through a civet cat, has been around for ages. But according to Dinkin, his idea is different and fundamentally better because, unlike civet cats, elephants are herbivores. And to break down all that cellulose from their plant food, they rely on fermentation, just like what happens in wine, beer, or coffee production. That brings out the sugars in the coffee beans, so it's not as bitter as the other varieties. It tastes like chocolate malt and cherry. The coffee's smooth and soft, almost like sipping on a comforting cup of tea, all in one fantastic brew. This crazy farm is located in the Surin province of northern Thailand and is home to 20 elephants, who produce this $2,000 a kilogram coffee. 8% of the sales amount is donated to elephant healthcare, and the company also pays its staff well above the average salary in the region. So I guess I shouldn't mind paying $50 for this cup of joe, would you? From the tropical climes of Thailand, now let's head to the icy plains of Antarctica. This farm is a testing ground for farming in space. In October 2015, the Eden ISS project arrived at the Neumayer 3 Polar Station. It was a container holding 40 different kinds of plants, including basil and strawberries. Now, this wasn't the first greenhouse on the South Pole, but this was a new and improved model, designed to withstand regular temperature dips below minus 22 degrees. Like other growth chambers on the Forgotten Continent, it's also an elaborate science experiment. The space agencies funding these futuristic farms hope to understand what it will be like for humans to bear fruit on Mars. The structure was built inside a climate-controlled shipping container, which served as a compact, insulated space to protect the plants from harsh outdoor conditions. To compensate for the limited sunlight available during the Antarctic winter, the greenhouse utilized advanced LED lighting systems to provide the necessary spectrum and intensity of light for optimal plant growth. A hydroponic system was employed where plants were grown in nutrient-rich water instead of traditional soil, maximizing resource efficiency and minimizing the need for external inputs. The greenhouse successfully grew various vegetables, including lettuces, herbs, cucumbers, and radishes, providing a source of fresh produce for the Antarctic research stations. The project served as a valuable testbed for future space missions, and astronauts may rely on greenhouse technologies to cultivate their food during long-duration space exploration. So how long will it be till astronauts can make their own salads in space? This next farm on the list is how Ariel might have gotten her balanced diet. It's located under the sea. Let me introduce you to Nemo's Garden, an extraordinary farm in Italy that defies all expectations. You see, they're not traditionally growing their produce in the town of Genova. No! They've taken their farming game to a whole new level, underwater to be precise, about 20 feet below the ocean surface. When you first look at their setup, it might remind you of a greenhouse or even a swarm of jellyfish, but let me tell you, it's nothing like your average farm. They don't rely on LED lights or fancy hydroponic systems. Instead, they embrace the wonders of the underwater world. How, you ask? Well, they harness the static temperature of the seawater and the unique red spectrum of sunlight that manages to filter through the ocean's surface. This combination encourages the growth of their crops. Now, growing produce underwater comes with its fair share of challenges, and it's still quite expensive at the moment. But the dedicated team at Nemo's Garden is hard at work, researching and experimenting with the impact of underwater growth on plants. They're delving into the possibilities it holds for the development of pharmaceuticals and advancements in agriculture. Who knows? Their soil-free toil may lead to groundbreaking discoveries that benefit us all. One day, those underwater pods will be able to feed the masses, providing sustenance to people around the globe without the need to clear away forests. From Genoa to London, innovative farmers are doing their best to limit land use as much as possible. This London-based startup is making use of some historic locations. Picture this: World War II era, air raid shelters tucked 100 feet below the bustling streets of London. When the air raid horn blared in the war days, up to 8,000 people would crowd into these arched shelters for safety. But now, those same spaces have been transformed into something incredible: a thriving underground farm called Grow Underground. The team aims to bring fresh produce closer to city dwellers. They've set up LED lights and hydroponic systems, that's right, no soil required, to grow an impressive variety of 20 different crops. From aromatic garlic chives to zesty red mustard, they cultivate a delicious array of greens beneath our feet. You know, traditional farmers have been witnessing the effects of climate change firsthand. That's why they're intrigued when they see innovative approaches like this underground farming. They see it as an opportunity to upgrade operations and embrace agricultural technology's wonders. The Grow Underground project provides fresh, locally grown produce to the community and serves as a beacon of inspiration for the farming industry as a whole. So next time you stroll through the streets of London, remember that beneath your feet in those historic air raid shelters, a vibrant farm is thriving. It's a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of humans, and a reminder that innovation can sprout even in the most unexpected places. Speaking of unexpected places for farms, how about a farm riddled with landlines? That's farming in one of the world's most volatile land borders. I'm talking about the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. You see, despite the political challenges and active landmines, farming in the DMZ is an essential solution for South Korea's food security. Here's the thing: North and South Korea are technically still at war, which creates a unique situation. North Korea, one of the world's most isolated countries, faces difficulties importing food. On the other hand, due to the division, South Korea has become an island, making it costly and complicated to bring in food supplies. Now here's where it gets interesting. The extremely fertile land on the Korean peninsula happens to fall within the DMZ, the no-man's land operated by the United Nations. Despite the challenges and risks, South Korea has strategically decided to subsidize farming in this area heavily. Around 250 farmers and their families live within the DMZ, following strict rules and regulations. But not only do they enjoy a tax-free income of around $80,000, but they also receive free education and other perks. It's a pretty sweet deal, if you're brave enough. This also explains why South Korea's living cost is so high. Add bird's nest soup to the menu and you're broke. Bird's nest is a Chinese delicacy that's wildly popular all over the region, and farmers in Indonesia are cashing in on it. It's made from swiftlet bird's nests, which are highly sought after and considered a rare treat. A bowl of soup made from the spit or the bird can cost up to $100. Traditionally, these nests are harvested from the high walls of caves, requiring great skill and daring to retrieve them from these hard-to-reach locations. But as demand for bird's nest soup continues to rise, people are exploring more creative collection methods. In Indonesia, multi-story buildings in urban areas are being modified to accommodate these farms. These buildings' upper floors are designed with many entrance holes to attract the birds. Farmers play recordings of swiftlet songs, spray insect attractants, and even specific scents are used to entice the wild birds into the urban farms. This shift to urban farming for swiftlet birds could solve the problem of over-harvesting their nests from natural habitats. It provides an alternative source of the prized nests while helping to preserve the population of these birds in the wild. But bird droppings and other associated issues could pose health hazards to people living in the area. The fact remains that bird's nest is a prized product consumed for its health value and is in high demand across Southeast Asia and the Far East. So for now, these farms will continue to thrive. From farms and buildings that harvest bird nests to harvesting coffee beans from elephant poop, these were some of the craziest farms in the world.